extraordinary and galloping inflation in some areas. We have an energy crisis, we have food crisis, we have climate crises underpinning all of that. All of that, folks, comes together at one place, and that is people's health. Every one of those crises are bad for people's health. Without good health, you cannot survive these crises. You cannot recover from them very quickly and move forward. At the fundamental need for good health, I think, self-evident in some of what we've gone through in these last few years. I think the other thing that you've seen as you think about it, because you're going to give 10 days of your life now to looking at this global model WHO. And it is so important, and think back, to frame that a little bit, what we saw over the last 3 years, right? We saw the fundamental importance of health to social cohesion, our own well-being, obviously, and to economic stability and growth. It was a health issue which ground the world to a halt and took so many lives with the COVID-19 crisis. So many of the issues that you're going to be looking at and have ability to shape the debate on over the next 10 days are issues that if we'd addressed them properly, we would have gone into this pandemic much stronger as a world. We would have come out of it much stronger as well. So the work you're doing and what you'll look at are really, really topical and key issues. This is a key year, of course. It's a key point in history, not just as a date when you're meeting, but because from now, as we come out of the pandemic, everybody's kind of thinking we need a new world order for health to make sure that we have stronger systems as we go forward, better ability to react to crises in the future, better ability to take care of the most vulnerable, whether folks with disability, older populations, et cetera. All topics that are part of the issues that you guys are going to debate over the coming 10 days. You're right at the heart of the key issues. The other thing I wanted to highlight, DG Mo, to the group, because they may not all be aware, was part of the reason I'm looking so exhausted today is we've just finished our executive board of WHO, where we looked at every single one of the papers that you're going to look at and more beside. And in 3 months, we're going to have the World Health Assembly, where we're going to try and take what we looked at in the executive board. We'll also be interested in your ideas to say, how should we frame the debate when we meet again, 194 ministers of health from around the world in 3 months' time. So the timing that you're meeting is really, really key as well. And I wanted to make sure that, we're all aware, including us here at WHO, of just what a fantastic opportunity we have, not only for us to try and shape the direction as we go forward, but to have it influenced by younger people. I'm not going to call you young people now, Mo, that you've done that to me. Younger people, though, it is so important because it's your world, it's your future, and you need to be part of shaping that. That's why the Director General has made it such a priority to create fora like this, put our best people on it, people like Doreen, who you've been working with, so that you've got, we actually hear your voices. Now, in the process, right, 10 days of your life is a lot of time, but look at what you're going to learn. You have an incredible opportunity to learn about consensus building, to learn about multilateralism, to learn about how to negotiate, to learn about, power and the challenges of how that plays out. You also see the opportunity, as Dr. Tedros said, to build life skills, right? About communications, about negotiations, working across cultures. I've been in this job for 30 years, as Mo gave away in his opening comments. And had I had the opportunity that you have over the next 10 days, I would have been much, much better at my job, and I would have had a better running start at it. This is a fantastic opportunity that you have. And again, thanks to our colleagues at Wafuna for making it happen. I would encourage everybody, if I can take a couple more seconds here, Mo, just take advantage of everything. The simulations are wonderful. The background documentation is real. What you're going to do is very, very real, though we call it simulations. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of the side sessions. We have fantastic talent here at WHO. They love to interact with younger people. They love to hear your ideas. They love to be challenged. A lot of them are my staff, so challenge them really hard, okay? But go to the side events, be part of it, and learn, because there's a great diversity of stuff. And then Wafuna has put in some great sessions about how to think about a career in the UN. Great opportunity you'll never get elsewhere as well. Take advantage. Most importantly, there's a few social sessions. Be sure you take part of those ones as well, because as Jade said, folks, it's really important. It's really serious. You have to enjoy yourselves along the way because life's too short otherwise. So please take advantage of everything. And in my last few words, what I want to say, first of all and foremost, is thank you. I want to thank Wafuna. I have to thank you, Sean, and your incredible team. What you do for the world is so important. It's so unseen. You're so modest. Just thank you again and again and again from our side. I want to give a special thanks to the 29 students. I'm not going to read the long list. I was going to. I wanted to know your names, who actually have spent the past months and weeks trying to put this together, the fabulous program that you have in front of you, and the fabulous speakers that you have. But huge congratulations, folks. You have some real talent among you who've done some really great work to do that. You'll meet a lot of them as chairs and vice chairs in the simulations as we go forward. So thank you, folks. It's because of you. I want to thank also the 251 people who are going to be part of this, the students, the university students, the high school students, also the teachers and advisors who've agreed to be part of this and help as well. Everyone is so important. The last thing I want to do, and I'm never supposed to do this when I'm, WHO, but I want to thank my own staff. Doreen, who's been working with you and is buried somewhere on the gigantic screen in front of us, has just been a superstar. You've got the very best of WHO taking care of you and your interests, which is the very best of our futures, obviously. So please, jump in, have a wonderful 10 days, challenge us, our organization, with your work. Take it seriously because the resolutions mean something. They're important. We will be looking, and the Director General is very, very interested to see the outcomes of this, as am I. Change the world, change your futures, because this is your opportunity. And I really hope, like Mo had said, that some of you are going to change your own personal futures and come join us at the World Health Organization and do great things to make it a better world for not just you, but also the generations that'll follow you. So with that, back to you, Director General Mohammed and DDG Jade, and thank you so much for the work that you both are doing and will do over the coming 10 days.
Thank you so much, Bruce.
I thank the ADG for his wonderful comments and for actually taking the time out to address the delegates. I think he is one honorary young person as a title from all of us. But I'm sure your words have invigorated our delegates and will guide them with the spirit of consensus and cooperation over the next few days. We will now hear from another champion of youth participation and involvement in the global movements for peace and global health, Dr. Sean Chen. Dr. Sean Chen is the president at Wafuna and has been an educator for over 40 years. He's also the president-elect of the International Association of University Presidents. He's here with us today to share his words, and I'd like to give him the floor.
Thank you, Mo. What an inspiring speech from Bruce, and I'm so impressed. Thank you so much. Dear Assistant Director General Bruce, dear Remu, dear students, dear teachers, dear observers, dear staff, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the first ever global model WHO on behalf of the World Federation of United Nations. There are about 250 participants gathering from 43 countries, spanning all corners of the world at this historic conference. Simulation of United Nations are older than the United Nations itself, with the first ever model UN taking place all the way back in 1943. Ever since it has evolved into one of the largest educational extracurricular activities with hundreds of thousands of students participating in a simulation each year. Through this simulation of the World Health Assembly, WFUNA and the WHO are able to offer you not just the most accurate simulation of the WHA, but also offered a unique opportunity to students who are pursuing degrees in medicine, pharmacy, nurse, global health, or a related field to learn more about the world's leading health agency. I'm very passionate about education. Just like Mo was introduced, I'm currently serving as president of a university I founded. So I do not want to fail to emphasize the other educational benefits the global model WHO offers. Over the next 10 days, you will not just learn more about WHO, but also hone your negotiation writing and public speaking skills, while also improving your intercultural understanding and make a new friends from around the world. Besides your discussion, you will also have the opportunity to attend a week of exciting, insightful, and engaging side events. You will hear from WHO staff, participants in career development sessions, and develop your soft and hard skills. During our numerous skill building workshops, I encourage you to participate in as many events as possible to fully maximize your global model WHO experience. I want to end by thanking the World Health Organization for working with Puna on this special conference. It has been a pleasure to work with you in the lead up of this conference, and we are so excited to be making history with you through this conference. We are also looking forward to continuing this partnership and hosting many, many more editions together in the future. Participants, I invite you to go into your sessions with the spirit of cooperation and work together to find a solution to the pressing issues you'll discuss. Youth, like yourself, are our future, so your input of those issues is crucial. I wish you the best luck for your discussion and look forward to seeing more results. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sean Chen, for your words and for your support for this conference. I will now introduce our next speaker. I just have a little, okay. So our next speaker, she was not able to be here, but she sent us a video. I will just say a few words about her, which is very impressive. Her name is Jayatma Wikramanayake. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. She was appointed as the UN Secretary General Envoy on Youth in June 2017 at the age of 26. In this role, Jayatma works to expand the UN's youth engagement and advocacy efforts across all 4 pillars of work: sustainable development, human rights, peace and security, and humanitarian action, and serve as a representative of an advisor to the Secretary General. She has played a key role in transforming the youth development sector in her home country, Bangladesh. She's not able to be with us today, but kindly sent her message to us by video. We will watch her video message now.
Colleagues, friends, greetings from New York. My name is Jayatma Wikramanayake, and I am the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. Thank you to the organizers for the invitation to join you for this important event. Our world is in distress. We continue to face a multitude of interconnected crises, including the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, escalating conflicts, the climate crisis, rising inequalities, and a breakdown in social and political trust. Amidst such complex challenges, it is tempting to favor short-term development priorities. But we cannot continue to sacrifice our collective future for short-term profit and political gain at the expense of the longer-term impacts on people and the planet. Ad hoc efforts are not enough. We urgently need results at scale. Today's young generation simply cannot afford to wait. We are at an inflection point in history, the halfway mark to rescue the Sustainable Development Goals and get us back on track to building a better world that leaves no one behind. If we want to succeed in steering our world towards a better future and achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, then we need a new outlook, a new approach, and a jump start for progress everywhere. And most importantly, we need to do it together. All of you here today give me immense hope that this is an achievable reality. The world today is home to the largest generation of young people in history. With more than half of the world's population under the age of 30, they represent the greatest opportunity we have for delivering progress, not just for young people, but for everyone, everywhere. We already have the knowledge and the resources to achieve the global goals. Young people have the energy, expertise, and ingenuity to make this vision a reality. As you may know, a core part of my mandate is to bring the United Nations closer to young people and young people closer to the United Nations. The greatest tool I have to do this is Youth 2030, the UN's first ever system-wide strategy on youth. It envisions a world in which the human rights of every young person are realized, a world that ensures every young person is empowered to achieve their full potential, and a world that recognizes young people's agency, resilience, and positive contributions as agents of change. We have seen some significant progress on these fronts over the recent years, but we still have a long way to go to ensure better youth representation and participation across the board. We need to put an increasing emphasis on elevating the voices of those young people who are often left furthest behind, including young women and girls, young persons with disabilities, indigenous young people, and young refugees and migrants, among others. As much as ever before, recent years have shown us that even in the most difficult circumstances, young people are always stepping up to the challenge. We have seen it firsthand in my work in conflict-affected areas, in humanitarian settings, and in the most at-risk communities around the world, where young people are taking leadership in finding solutions and advocating for positive transformational change. In recognition of this reality, the UN Secretary General's Our Common Agenda presents concrete proposals across a wide range of areas, including how we can combat misinformation, to how we can better foster global solidarity, to how we can accelerate meaningful action against climate change. And at the core of all these efforts, the agenda calls for a deepening of solidarity with the world's young people. The world is increasingly recognizing the invaluable contributions young people are making to creating a better world for all of us. So what are we waiting for? It is time for decision makers everywhere to urgently make greater investments in youth, from improving quality education and universal healthcare to boosting skills development and creating green and decent jobs in support of a just transition. And for young people around the world, we are counting on you to continue actively engaging in these issues and holding your governments accountable. I look forward to continuing to work hand in hand with all of you to ensure that the UN is ready and able to deliver together with and for young people everywhere. Achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030 most certainly depends on it. Thank you.
Wonderful. We want to say thank you so to Ms. Jatma, if ever she's watching this YouTube live later, for her wonderful message. Finally, I'm happy to introduce Dr. Rimu Bayadia, who joined WHO as part of the first cohort of the Young Professional Program in 2022. Prior to joining WHO, she supported food and nutrition assistance programs to Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh and displaced population in Ukraine with the United Nations World Food Programme. Previously, she worked on maternal and child health and nutrition interventions in rural areas in Bangladesh with BRAC, an international development organization based in Bangladesh. She holds a Bachelor in Public Health from Asian University for Women and a Master in International Health and Tropical Medicine from University of Oxford. I would like to give the floor to Dr. Rimi Biadia. I'm sorry for the pronunciation again.
Thank you so much, Jade. Can you please confirm whether you can hear me okay? Great. Thank you so much for your kind introduction. it is my absolute pleasure to address the first ever global model WHO as a part of the young professional. So you have already heard from the Director General, Dr. Tedros, that WHO has recently launched Young Professional Program, and I joined WHO along with other 13 amazing and talented young professionals from 13 different countries. So I can exactly remember what it was like to sit in your seats and the hard work that goes into preparing for these conferences, because I was fortunate to be part of the Model United Nations, Model UN, as a university student a couple of years back, not too long ago, which really gave me perspectives about the global issues and also how decisions are made. And I'm sure among many other contributors which actually helped me to pursue a career in the global health and to be where I am today, really helped me. So this experience really helped me. So it's really wonderful to see many of you taking an interest in global health. And I'm sure many of you will choose a career in global health. And many of you will actually choose to do something quite different. But no matter what you choose to do, I'm sure the experience you gain from the first ever global model WHO will give you invaluable experience. So when I was actually thinking about prepping for this speech, I was thinking what could be useful for the young delegates who are joining today. So I thought, although I was not fortunate enough to join the global model WHO, but I would share a few skills that I have learned and acquired that actually helped me throughout my career so far with you today. So I would like to talk about three key things. First, while I've participated in the Model UN, I realized at that time I was only aware of the challenges that my country was facing or the country I was representing was facing. But coming to the Model UN, the simulation, it really gave me a broader understanding of the global issues each country was facing and the magnitude and the type of the challenges. So I'm really hoping over the next few days, over the coming week, you will get to see the spectrum of global health challenges each country is facing and the diversity of it. Second, while I learned about different problems, different issues that different countries were facing, I also noted during my MUN experience that some of the challenges are quite similar. But then when you look into it, deep dive, you see that they're contextually or culturally a bit different. So that means although the problems may appear similar on the surface, but you need that level of understanding. You need cross-cultural understanding, contextual thinking. So meaning one size might not fit all. So that gives you a cross-cultural understanding. I'm sure you will be exposed to ideas and opportunities in the next few days, which will actually give you the confidence to analyze situation and to think more contextually. Third, I remember the Model UN experience has taught me how to work with others, because you need to work with really a group to achieve the desired outcomes. And I find that extremely useful as I navigate through my professional career. And I'm sure as the young delegates, when you enter into the professional world, you will find that skill very useful. So as I sum up, I would just like to say, as you know, more than half of the world's population are youth below 35. And this is exactly why we need to address challenges and formulating solutions with engagement, with not just engagement, with the active engagement with the youth, because these challenges will actually affect the youth most. So because whatever decision you make today with the global model WHO will affect you or the world in the years to come. One message I would like you to take from my speech today: all of us experience challenges every day, and we see numerous challenges, whether it's global health challenges, other challenges every day, and how it affects us. But for many of us, we don't have the opportunity to raise our voice, nor do we have the seat at the table to make a change. But you today, as young delegates of the first ever global WHO, model WHO, you have a seat, you have a voice. So, and you can really raise your voice to make the changes you would like to see in the world. And I would say you are the privileged ones who got the seat today. And so bring that health challenges that you see in your country, in your community, or the country you are representing to the table, and never underestimate the power of youth that all of us can do to make a difference to the world. So let's work for the solution for a healthier and happier world together. And I would like to wish you a rewarding model WHO. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think all the delegates have probably taken these words to heart. And as we move forward, we will keep your words in mind when we approach our consensus-based processes. We have now heard from all the speakers for the opening ceremony, and I thank all of our speakers for giving us their time and for their amazing words. I hope their words have inspired you to work in the spirit of consensus and make a difference. With all that being said, by the powers vested in me by the World Health Organization, the World Federation of the United Nations Association, and the entire Secretariat team, I now declare the Global Model WHO Online Conference 2023 open. It's the applause moment that the social media team has probably captured at this point. Following the opening ceremony, we will be moving into some of our, a part of our simulation, which is going to be the opening plenary. We have our president for the opening plenary who will be leading us through this. And following the opening plenary, we'll have a few announcements and we will be good to let you all go back to whatever it is you need to do. Just give us a second to transition out and I will get back.
Hello, everyone. I will be acting as the president of this opening plenary. So now I'd like to declare that this assembly is called to order. Your Excellencies, honorable ministers, ambassadors, delegates, Director General. I should like to thank this August Assembly for their trust in selecting me as the president of the first global model WHO World Health Assembly. The work that will be done during the days of this conference are crucial for the advancement of health conditions worldwide. The COVID-19 pandemic took health systems to their limits and worsened global public health issues that have plagued humanity for years. The challenge we now face are far greater than many of us have ever experienced in our lifetimes. The climate catastrophe, long-lasting epidemics, the use and distribution of inadequate medical products, and the remissness or inability to include refugees, migrants, and persons with disabilities within health systems are urgent issues that the international community must address. To this end, the WHO has proposed ambitious goals to improve health conditions all around the globe. The triple billion targets, for example, aim to widen access to health coverage to 1 billion people worldwide. With this, the WHO hopes to further protect vulnerable peoples, improve lives, and strengthen health systems. However, though ambitious, goals like this are only attainable through dialogue, cooperation, and willingness from countries and the international community as a whole. Throughout the conference, delegates should keep this in mind. The WHO, and by extension, the WHO, can cause profound positive impacts in our world. And it is up to the delegations present here today to guide those actions and rise to the issues that humanity faces today. Remembering the WHO's core values, compassion, integrity, professional excellence, dialogue, fairness, and trustworthiness, as well as the spirit of consensus. I am certain that delegates will be able to write forward-thinking, insightful, and robust resolutions that will guide the organization's work and inspire the international community for years to come. I wish you all productive debates and fruitful negotiations in the days to come. The challenges are already here, and it is up to us to resolve them. Now, moving on, the next item on the provisional agenda to be considered is item 1.2, adoption of the agenda and allocation of items to the main committees, which was examined by the General Committee. The General Committee examined the provisional agenda for the first Global Model WHO World Health Assembly, entitled Document A1/1, as prepared by the Executive Board and sent to all member states. May I therefore assume that the Assembly agrees to adopt the provisional agenda as contained in document A1/1? It is so decided. Now we will move on to our program of work. So the program of work for this plenary will be as follows. The first plenary will run from 2:30 to 3 p.m. CET, 12:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. CET, and will include a statement by the Director General. Then tomorrow, committees 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 will hold their first meeting from 8 to 11 CET, their second meeting from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. CET, their third meeting on the 12th of February from 8 to 11 CET, and their fourth meeting also on the 12th of February from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. CET. The fifth meeting will be held on the 18th of February from 8 to 11 CET. The sixth meeting will be held on the 18th of February from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. CET. And the seventh and final meeting of these committees will take place on Sunday, 19th of February from 8 to 11 CET. Following the conclusion of the seventh meeting of committees 1 through 5, the second and final plenary will take place on the 19th of February from 12 to 12:15 Central European Time. The program of work for committees 6, 7, and 8 is as follows. These committees will hold their first meeting tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. CET, and their second meeting will also happen tomorrow from 9 to 11 p.m. CET. Their third meeting on the 12th of February from 4 to 7 p.m. CET, and their fourth meeting also on the 12th of February from 9 to 11 p.m. CET. These committees will hold their fifth meeting on the 12th of February, on the 18th, of February from 4 to 7 p.m. CET, their sixth meeting on the 18th of February from 9 to 11 CET, 9:11 p.m. CET, and their seventh and final meeting on the 19th of February from 4 to 7 p.m. CET. Following the conclusion of the seventh meeting of committees 6 through 8, the second and final plenary will take place on the 19th of February from 8 to 8:15 Central European Time. I would like to remind the delegates of the importance of being punctual to the committee sections. You will be discussing many complex issues during the days of the conference, and so it is imperative that you are all present in your committees at the indicated times. We can now move on to item 3 of the agenda, addressed by the Director General. I have the pleasure of giving the floor to the Director General of the Global Model WHO 2023, Mr. Mohammed Iqbal Omar.
Thank you, President of the World Health Assembly. In this session of the World Health Assembly, the agenda items reflect some of the world's greatest challenges that pose intergenerational threats and require immediate action. These agenda items will require strong, decisive, and motivated solutions. To say it at the least, we have a very important task ahead of us. Your discussions over the next few days will reflect the global efforts towards solving these issues and will hopefully move us all towards the right solutions. The Secretariat team has worked tirelessly to support you in your discussions, but this is where we have to transcend our efforts as individuals and come together collectively to further the global health agenda. I wish you the best of luck in your deliberations over the next few days and look forward to all that we are going to accomplish for ourselves and for the world at large. Thank you, President.
I thank the Director General for his remarks. Now, this concludes our first plenary meeting. I'd like to declare this meeting now adjourned.
Thank you, everyone, for attending the opening ceremony and plenary of the conference, for being on time, and for your continued support. Thank you again to all the dignitaries and speakers as well. Before we wrap up, I do have a few announcements that I would like to emphasize. The first is for all delegates. The information is that side event-based information. So those are going to be events that are happening over the week from Monday to Friday that have been organized by both the WHO and WFUNA, that include real-life speakers and experts from the World Health Organization and WFUNA on many agenda items. This information will be emailed out to you today. All delegates are strongly encouraged to attend as many side events as possible. Do try and register by Sunday. We do have Jade on the call, and she has dubbed herself the side event police. So she will be on all side events, and I wouldn't want to be on her bad side. So do attend all side events and interact with as many speakers as you can. They're here for that purpose. The second announcement is a reminder that for Time Zone 1, simulations start tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. CET, that is Central European Time. And for Time Zone 2, simulations start at 4 p.m. CET, again, Central European Time. When I say they start at 8 a.m. CET, I mean they start at 8 a.m. CET. So please be in your rooms on time. Earlier than time is on time. So be in their rooms at least 5 minutes before your sessions. And attend all your sessions. Attendance at all simulation sessions is mandatory. Finally, on a more fun note, as you attend the conference and share the amazing work that you're doing over social media or any other forms of communication, use the hashtag Global Model WHO tag, and our communications team will share your posts around and use you in our conference videos. Finally, I once again want to thank you all for attending. You're going to have a great next few days and have a nice time. Have fun, as Jade has mentioned. Thank you and have a nice day.